Last campaign rally you have had. You have made your final pitch. At this point, you hear in the candidates' voices that they're going hoarse. They have said everything that they can say, and now it is just waiting. We know that Hillary Clinton will at some point cast her ballot today, and then it's just hunkering down, presumably with close family and friends, and watching returns and waiting. And as she made the joke last night, between now and when the polls close, she will be living on a prayer. Of course, a joke there because she was campaigning with Bon Jovi, but there's not much you can do.
That's really the only Bon Jovi joke you can make, and it's been made repeatedly over the last 24 hours, so credit to her for that. We're going to keep our eye on this shot. Let's just keep watching this because we don't want to miss it when Hillary Clinton comes out of the plane. So far, you've seen, again, more staff come out, Secret Service come out. That is the process by which this happens, and we will watch for Hillary Clinton. I have to say, I was on this plane with George W. Bush. We just saw Bill Clinton.
That was Bill Clinton.
We just saw Bill Clinton right there. I was with George W. Bush in 2000 when he went back to Austin, and George W. Bush came back on the back of the plane before it landed and actually spoke to each of the reporters that had covered him for a long, long time. There is the sense.
Is that what he had choice words for you, John Berman?
He called me a pain in the ass. He called me a pain in the ass, but he meant it in a nice way on that last trip. It's a moment I'll sort of never forget. There's Jennifer Palmieri, key aide to Hillary Clinton. Want to bring in CNN's Jeff Zeleny. We're not going to leave this picture right now, but Jeff Zeleny was on that campaign plane. Jeff, what's his last flight been like?
Hey, John, I did just step off the campaign plane, and you can see the staffers coming down, as you said. I can tell you in this instance, Hillary Clinton did not come to the back of the campaign. She did not talk to reporters. John Bon Jovi did actually, though, talk to some reporters. A few of his aides did as well. But I can tell you who is on the plane. The former President Bill Clinton on the plane. Hillary Clinton, of course, the candidate on the plane. And really, I would say, arriving here on Election Day with a sense of confidence, certainly much more so than, I would say, 2 or 3 days or so ago. You know, there are, I would say, maybe a couple hundred supporters here, as you said, very close friends, family members, supporters here. But what Hillary Clinton is going to do from this point, John and Christine, she's going to go vote in a few hours. Once those polling places actually open in Chappaqua, she'll be voting early. Then I'm told she's going to go home and get some rest and prepare for her speech tonight after the returns come in. And we do know that they are preparing speeches either way here, which is typical, of course. And now you can hear some people in the crowd chanting, Hillary, Hillary. John and Christine.
Again, just as we're spotting on that plane, we saw Jennifer Palmieri, key communications aide. We saw Bill Clinton, of course. There he is. There's Bill Clinton again. Just a glimpse of Bill Clinton for the crowd there, enough to get them to go wild. So interesting to see.
Let's talk a little bit about the tone of the closing arguments of these of these two candidates. Jeff?
I can also tell you guys, the staff also did something interesting. They filmed what I'm told is a mannequin challenge. That is sort of something that is going on online now. It's a popular thing for people to do. Everyone freezes in place, and they film something that it makes people look like wax figures, basically, and then they all unfreeze. So they filmed that as we were still on the ground in Raleigh, North Carolina. The point of this is, it's of Bill Clinton, it's of Hillary Clinton, of a lot of the advisors, and this is going to be a video that will be posted sometime on Election Day, and it says, "Don't stand still, vote." So they did a bit of filming, not a commercial, but a campaign video before taking off in Raleigh, North Carolina. And there she is right now, waving from the door of the plane. Let's watch. And just to give you a sense of what is happening here, this is her campaign anthem, a fight song that is played at every one of her rallies. So it is playing here as she is going to greet some of these supporters here who are waiting in the early hours of the morning to fight song. And I can tell you a lot of excitement here, a lot of her New York supporters eager to see Hillary Clinton, and they hope 24 hours from now will be the president-elect. We'll have to wait to see what the voters say about that.
You know, what a long journey for Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton right there. I was just struck watching Bill Clinton come down that jetway, walking down the stairs. You know, he did this back in 1992, not to mention 1996, and Hillary Clinton alongside him. But now...
No smartphones then.
No
Recording every
smartphones,
minute.
no selfies. But now in 2016, you know, she's not following him. He's following her. And these are her people in White Plains. This isn't Little Rock, Arkansas. This is Westchester, New York. And this is part of this new Hillary Clinton political machine, this new, well, not so new anymore, Hillary Clinton political movement that she hopes carries her past this day. But this is a moment, you know, decades in the making for the Clintons right now.
And John and Christine, I think it's also important to point out this campaign has been so divisive and chaotic, but it is also historic. Regardless, when standing there in Philadelphia, I was just reminded of the potential history here. Already, she will forever be the first woman to become the nominee of a major party. But we are on the brink of potential history tomorrow as well, which watching President Obama and watching her next to one another certainly was a sense of a different moment in this country, a changing face of our country. If campaigns are about the changing nature of our country, this certainly will be a test of that tomorrow.
We just saw, by the way, a man with red hair and a ginger beard back there. That's Dan Merica. That is CNN's campaign embed reporter who has been there, you know, 26 hours a day for the last year and a half. And he's right there in the middle of it all, trying to get the best shot of this, because that's what you do when you cover a campaign. So our hats off to Dan and all the work that he's done covering this.
So at this point of the campaign, do we think she's going to speak? Is she going to say a few words?
Jeff, do we expect to hear from Secretary Clinton? I think she'd want to get on the record at least with a little something, if not just a thank you here tonight. But do you know?
Right, I was told about 30 minutes before we landed that she was planning on speaking, addressing supporters. And then as we landed, they said, we're not sure. We are going to ask the secretary how she's feeling. I do not see a setup here for her to speak. And her van is waiting for her, and she is moving closer to the van there. So she now gave a big hug to John Podesta, her campaign chairman, an embrace there. It looks like she is not going to speak. She gave a thumbs up to
That
the
was
crowd.
Huma Abedin.
Also traveling with Huma Abedin. Right, Huma Abedin, her longtime aide, who's back on the road. So now she is getting in the van there. So she will not be speaking publicly here. She did address people individually as she went down this rope line here on what really is the end of a 18-plus month journey, the second time around. But of course, her second bid for the presidency, all coming to an end later today on election night in New York City. John and Christine.
It's so remarkable. This is the day America goes to vote, right? And this is the day that both of these campaigns and these candidates sort of pause and wait. It must just be nerve-wracking.
I can tell you, as a resident of Westchester County, New York, this is roughly 6 hours later than anyone in that county ever stays awake to see this many people gathered in one place at one time in little sleepy Westchester. It is a remarkable vision to see. It really is. It really is interesting.
Clinton actually made a point of that. Secretary Clinton made a point of that, if I can just say, in Raleigh. She said, boy, this is sure worth waiting up late for. When she came into that arena with Lady Gaga, it was so energetic. She seemed very happy that she decided to stay awake. And I am told that this late midnight rally was Bill Clinton's idea. This is something that he did, of course, when he was running for president, doing midnight rallies. She agreed, signed on to it. And the reason they were in North Carolina, that is the tightest battleground state they believe that there is, that they have a chance of winning. They're not sure if they'll win it. They wanted to take one more stab at it early today.
Hey, Jeff, while we have you, what are your plans for the next few hours? As the guy who was covering this campaign, for CNN, what do you do now? Do you try to sleep? Can you sleep?
Well, it's interesting. On election days are very odd days for campaigns and for political reporters. We spend all of our time sort of figuring out what's happening. But I do plan to get a little bit of sleep because it will be a long night later today and into the night, of course. But after the sun comes up in some key states, I like to put out some feelers to political strategists and smart political minds just to see hey, I need an early eyes and ears. Let us know what's happening. But I think a couple hours of sleep is probably a good idea here in the next couple hours, at least until the sun comes out.
It might be a good idea, Jeff Zeleny. Yeah, you put out those feelers, and what you hear back from both campaigns and operatives on both sides in every state is record turnout in key counties, no matter what the turnout actually is. It's always record turnout in key counties.
Well, one of the differences this year, though, John and Christine, so much more early vote. We have never had an election with more than 40 million people already cast ballots. Of course, this all comes out of the 2000 election, which, John, you covered every step of the way. The Florida recount changed election laws, the Help America Vote Act. That's why we have so much early voting across the country. So it is different now, and tomorrow there will be, more people have already early voted than ever before here. So we'll see how that affects lines, but the turnout is already registered, and the Clinton campaign feels very good about their Florida early vote in particular, not as good in other states like Ohio and Iowa.
Jeff Zeleny there, where the Hillary Clinton campaign plane has just landed. Hillary Clinton has just departed the plane. She got in a van and she is off. She will be voting later today, presumably resting, hunkering down, and then everyone comes back out tonight to watch results. Maybe do a little bit of retail politics this afternoon. We'll have to wait and see. Jeff Zeleny hopefully will get a couple hours of sleep. But election days are unlike any other normal day. This is what everyone has been waiting for and preparing for. There's really no sleep. It's all one big day into tomorrow at some point, isn't it, John?
It really is incredible. And I know a lot of political operatives and consultants who what they do, in Philadelphia, some of the biggest and best political operatives in Philadelphia, on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, they just get together and have lunch today on election day because there's nothing more they can do. There are no more ads to run, so they get together, they have lunch. I think they split the bill, and it's a moment of camaraderie after months and in some cases a full year of stabbing each other relentlessly in the front.